Greetings and salutations. I'm Mike Dynamo, and I'm going to talk about Black Lightning today. That's right, that's what we're doing. Black Lightning. Black Lightning. Black Lightning. The lightning is actually kind of blue, but he's definitely Black Lightning. And the reason why they call it Black Lightning is clearly because somebody was watching Luke Cage for Marvel on Netflix last year and was like, I can definitely make something blacker than that. That's pretty much how it goes. So I love Black Lightning. I mean, let's just start bar none. I loved Black Lightning. Right? It was fantastic. It was topical. It was erotic. I give it a 9.5. I still got to it. It was amazing. But a lot of the reasons it was amazing were because of the actual cast in the actual piece. Like, you get to actually have fun and build these characters. Now, before we go any further, let me give you my bona fides. All right, big time comic book guy, big time CW universe guy. I've been watching Arrow since the first episode, stayed on board long enough for it to go from okay to great to shitty, and then on board with the Flash, and of course, my personal favorite, number one show on television, Legends of Tomorrow. And while I like Supergirl, I haven't really gotten a chance to sit down and watch it all. You know, hopefully I'll get to it at some point. But for my bona fides, I even saw movie Supergirl way back in the day. But regardless, Black Lightning is a show. It's the same production team, or at least the same producers doing it, if not the same team. So there's definitely some similarities between sort of the fighting and the action and the special effects on Flash and on Arrow and on their big crossover shows that they've definitely brought to Black Lightning. So when I first heard about the show, I was kind of surprised because I've never been a major fan of Black Lightning. I'm what you would call a Marvel fanboy, and so I'm much more Spider-Man and the Avengers and Captain America, Iron Man. A lot of those guys have definitely been my favorites. Even on the black side, your Luke Cages, your Falcons. Okay, I only like the Falcon maybe for about a week, but Luke Cage, and that's about it. Black Panther. There you go. Those are all your major black heroes in Marvel. But DC, while having a lot of sort of international diversity, has had a few really cool black characters throughout the years. They've pushed Cyborg and Black Lightning. I guess maybe 10 years ago when Dwayne McDuffie, God rest his soul, was still alive, Black Lightning was definitely a principal member on the Justice League. You got to really see him be sort of a veteran superhero. And then his daughters, Thunder and Lightning, were doing stuff in the comic books and yada, yada, yada. But regardless, what we have here on the TV show is sort of coming in cold, where you know that there's this guy, Jefferson Pierce, who runs this high school where all the kids wear uniforms in some city called Freeland, and the gang's violence is getting bad because 9 years ago there used to be a superhero named Black Lightning. He used to be out there on the streets just whipping ass and taking names. They allude to sort of him getting hurt so bad that he hangs up the cowl, as it were, for good, and he's mostly kept to that for the past 9 years. He's been working as a principal, raising his two daughters, and generally, I guess, doing a great job with that. When we come into this episode of Black Lightning, we don't start with any superhero action. We don't have a really interested hero, someone trying to get back in the game. All we've got is ex-gold medalist Jefferson Pierce, Mr. Principal, running the school. They come at you with the blackness. Like, the blackness just goes right there. There's a gang called the 100. They're tearing up the streets, and one of Black Lightning's daughters, Anissa, the oldest daughter, is protesting. She's at a protest and she gets arrested. And that's basically where we start, with him driving with his younger daughter, Jennifer, to go pick up his older daughter, get her out of prison so they can go back to some fundraiser for this sort of school that he runs. In any case, his youngest daughter, troublemaker that she is, decides she wants to go to a party, lies about where she's going, and instead of going to some tiny house party, which she tells her older sister, actually goes to the big gang haunt where the gang known as the 100 are doing things. And from there, it gets really cool. Now, because it's hard, like, it's kind of hardcore when these gangs are sort of doing some gang shit, and you're watching these characters on this cast that's, again, predominantly black, talking about a lot of black stuff, from Afropunk to police brutality, et cetera, et cetera. So when Jefferson Pierce's daughter, Jennifer, runs afoul of the boss of the gang because she's, talking to sort of the wrong guy, and as soon as Jefferson finds out where she is, he gets pissed, goes down there and gets his Black Lightning on, and it's fantastic. There's that one scene. This is one scene after he goes to the club and does what a superhero does at a club full of gang members. Before he's had his full superhero awakening, like the cops come out. He's wearing a tuxedo.
The city is getting more and more dangerous.
Cops come over to him, and it's in slow motion, and they're like, "Get out! Get your black ass on the ground!" And he goes nuts and blows up their police car and electrocutes them and walks off and goes back to his everyday life as if it never really happened. You kind of get the sense that he doesn't want to do it. Both of his daughters have kind of screwed him over tonight. Like you got the older one trying to be too much, basically too Huey from the Boondocks, and she's trying to be this protester and do all these things, but doing it in this dangerous way. And then you've got his younger one who's basically being Riley from the Boondocks, and she wants to go party with boys because that's what teenage girls do, and she sneaks out and whatever. And then you've got his ex-wife who was with him when he had his major bleeding in the bathtub moment as Black Lightning, and he wants to get back with her and put his family back together because a strong man needs a strong woman and a strong family. God, so black. But from there, you kind of things begin to escalate. It's like what I found really interesting about this episode of Black Lightning is how sort of the actions from his younger daughter, this I want to go out and have a youthful indiscretion, basically turns into the massive problem for the series. By her going out to this party, all of a sudden that guy who she was with there, who ends up coming back to the school and then getting basically handled by the older sister before attempting to pull a gun out right there at the school. Later on he goes back to the school and pulls this girl right out of class, to do more gang shit. And so once both the Pierce daughters get abducted, at this point he basically doesn't have a choice and has to go full Black Lightning all over that ass. So he gets a suit from James Remar. So the bottom line is, when Black Lightning gets back into action, man, it's beautiful. And he goes to the hooker hotel that these gangs got and, does the violence. And for my money, again, as a big CW fan, the action is amazing, in my opinion. I think it's some of the best fight scenes they've done. It's brutal. He's using guys as a human shield. He's electrocuting guys, throwing them on their car. And because he's got some cool Black Lightning goggles on, they'll never know it's Principal Jefferson Pierce. He's got that Superman thing happening. But I'm excited. I'm very excited. I have to admit, I didn't expect to enjoy Black Lightning, but I did. And I enjoyed it to the point where not only do I want to continue watching it, I want other people to watch it. I want to see sort of what this show can do. It's a fantastic show. They've done something really sort of incredible with that same sort of CW DC vibe, where it's gonna be, I don't know. They've managed to keep it low on the melodrama and sort of high on the action, and a lot of it really makes sense. So I feel that the entire team, the entire network, and their entire television superhero division is really sort of coming into their own and doing something, a bit different, a bit more real, and definitely not pulling punches in the way that I almost expected them to. I really didn't expect them to do this gang storyline, which we've seen play out in a variety of ways, this sort of Dangerous Mindsy sort of school and situation, but bring a certain level of realism to it, but also bring a certain level of unrealism to it that allows a superhero like Black Lightning to exist alongside, just unbelievable violence and the kind of gang guys who are willing to walk into a school and just pull some women out of it. And from there, we know that we have some awesome things brewing between his, Black Lightning's badass albino villain with his kick-ass blonde beard. I'm really enjoying it. Very surprised how much I enjoyed the first episode. Recommend you check it out, especially if you're a CW fan. And if not, check it out anyway, because you just might learn something and love something, which is the most important thing. This has been Mike Dynamo. Thanks for checking out my thoughts on Black Lightning. Catch you guys later.